Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Sorry, we were going to go live like 30 minutes ago, but it's taken us a while to set up cameras and get the mics working and all of that.
I didn't
Can
think
you?
the jelly beans through because now they're going to hear me chewing.
Oh, wait, now I hear. Why are you?
I apologize, you guys.
Aaron keeps picking out the good jelly beans and
You tell
leaving
me
all the bad flavors
what's your
left.
favorite flavor of jelly bean?
I know. And can you all hear us okay? Because I feel like
Yeah, we don't
in
want to
our
get
last
into
live, we were really quiet. And then this is our first live on Facebook in a long time. So I'm hoping that everyone, I'm hoping everyone can hear. Sorry, I'm just looking at your guys' comments. Let me know if you can't hear us right or if it sounds like really quiet.
I can hear you.
Becky from England. Hi,
Perfect
Becky.
noise.
Okay. We're getting the sound is good. So I think we are good. Hi from Yuma, Arizona. Pamela. Hi, Pamela. Jackie. Hi.
How do I put it in slow mo,
Hey,
guys?
I'm so excited. We haven't been live on Facebook since living in St. John's. And even then, I think it was like a long, long time ago. So I'm really excited
You
to be
realize that was
live
like
on there
2 years
too.
ago?
I think it was like 3 years ago because we've been in this house almost 2 years
And it
in a
was
few
probably a
months.
year before we moved.
It's crazy. I feel like time's just flying by. Oh no, I closed my screen now. Okay, we're good.
No.
Hi, Shonda. Hi, Lori. Hi, Trisha. Yay. Okay. Should we start or do we wait a few more minutes?
So I'm seeing a video is delayed to the sound.
Is our video and sound delayed?
Daisy Kelly says.
I think sometimes the internet too has a hard time, like
Oh, so clarification real quick, guys.
crystal clear on Facebook.
We are live
Yay!
on both Facebook and YouTube at the same time.
Yeah. So he is controlling YouTube comments and going through that side, and I'm doing Facebook. And so, yeah. But Facebook is saying that we sound crystal clear. I love that. Thank you, Taylor.
Is that
That made me laugh. I think no pun intended.
I was like, is that a pun?
Probably. I love that.
Hi from Carolyn Hank
Right.
in Washington.
Oh,
What up, Washington?
hi, Patricia Heard. So she says, my kids love watching as well. I love that. I really love watching things with my kids, and I love when I can watch YouTubers or different shows on TV, like together as a family. Grey's Anatomy just started up yesterday, and Bella, Aaron, and I all watched it together, and it was such a special moment. Like, I loved that because,
We were trying to do it the first half this season, but we could never get our schedules to like sync up. And so Bella kept having to watch it, separately from us. But then this season, we're really trying hard.
we're
We
trying
were
to
able to
watch it
do
all
it.
together. Yeah. Savannah's trying to get caught up so she can join in and watching it with us. But none of the other kids have ever been interested in those shows. So I love when we find shows or YouTubers that we can like watch together and enjoy. So I love that.
Quick story, real quick. So I was down on the couch. We were gonna watch it in the main room. Crystal was trying to find the remote because we could never find the remote to our TV. Let us
We
know
lose
if
it
you have
every
that same
day.
problem. So I was trying to call. Bella was up in her room, and so I was calling her on FaceTime FaceTime, trying to get her to respond, and she wouldn't answer. And I stopped looking at my phone, but it kept ringing, ringing, ringing. And then I looked down at my phone, and she's literally like over my shoulder, and I could see her in the camera, but I couldn't see her in my peripheral view. Scared the crap out of me. It
Yeah,
was
he
so
screamed
funny.
so loud. It was
It was
so
it was
funny.
hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
So we got our first super chat from Pam Alberts. Hi, Crystal. Y'all need to try Eegee's, located in the valley. Will
Oh,
change your lives. Eegees. What is that?
I've never heard of that. I'm going to have to look that up after, but I would love to
Yes,
go there. I love trying new places, especially food.
definitely.
Yeah. Though I'm not a big foodie, but I do like to try new places. Yeah, you know. Okay. So we have a problem, and I wanted to ask your guys' help on our problem.
It's a big problem.
So, okay. So you guys probably saw us doing the video where we're choosing our next family vacation. And we ended up choosing Hawaii. and everyone is so excited, including us. Like, we're really excited. I've been researching for months and kind of looking at which islands to go to, what's the best thing, what are the fun activities to do, and like all of this. And I was going to do a whole video like talking about, how we plan out family vacations and all of that, because there's so many of us and it's so complicated. And I always get afraid that I'm gonna like miss one person's ticket or miss this or that, which I've done, not on airplane rides, thankfully. But when we went to VidCon last year, I missed a couple of the kids because I don't know, you're just putting all in the names and then it can get really confusing fast. But I was trying to organize it. I picked out an amazing Airbnb to stay at. I looked at flights, I was timing it. I had pretty much it planned out to some degree. And I went to click a book button and I got a really bad feeling. And I normally don't get like that clear of a bad feeling unless there's something major. The last time I got that feeling was, I'm not going to call it the kid, but one of my kids and their boyfriend that they were dating. I got this really bad feeling, and then something ended up happening a couple months down the road. And I don't know. Anyways, I don't get those intuition feelings very often, but usually when I do, I'm like, okay, what's going on? So I got that feeling when I went to book the Hawaii vacation. And I've been questioning it for days because I'm really big in following like my intuition when you get those feelings. But at the same time, I'm so excited for Hawaii and I really, really want to go. So I'm going to try different dates and different things. Like, we haven't officially decided, but as I was talking with the kids about it, and we've kind of just been bringing it up, a lot of them are like, what if we go somewhere else? What if, because they can get their passports now, what if we go somewhere out of the country? Like, what options or what should we look into, or do I just look into different dates? Like, but I feel like the timing of the dates I wanted to go were perfect because I didn't want to go during anyone's birthday, and I wanted it to be, and we have a lot of summer birthdays. So in
Jennifer
the
M says,
comments,
"Trust your premonition."
it's hard when you're like, I don't want to disappoint the kids though, not go to Hawaii, but I'm not getting a good feeling about it. And I'm like, does that mean there's going to be like something wrong with the airplane? Is that, and now I'm like second guessing everything.
So the here's the interesting thing. I have wanted to go. So my parents, my mom and my stepdad went to Hawaii for their honeymoon. I couldn't think of the word. And ever since they went on that trip, and I heard about that trip, and I was like 5 years old. So I've wanted to go to Hawaii for a long time, and I've never been to Hawaii. Always wanted to go. It looks like one of the most beautiful places, but I got the same feeling in my heart about this trip as well.
About this trip,
About
this Hawaii trip.
about Hawaii. Like I have this like I don't know, something is saying don't do it or reschedule it. I don't know what it is. I can't tell.
You never said that to me till just
Yeah.
now.
Shelly's calling me.
I
Should I
guess we're
answer
learning.
it?
I know. Tell her we're live. Shelly, she called my phone twice, so maybe she needs
Hi,
something.
Shelly. Good. We're actually live on YouTube and Facebook right now. Well, no, you're okay. We'll call you right back, okay? All right. Love you. Bye.
When they call 3 times, you know it's usually something important. That's why we answered.
Right?
But a lot of people are saying trust your gut. You need to go to Hawaii. It's so beautiful. I know all the pictures, all the everything. And it's funny because we were getting the kids, and I'm like, do you guys want to go diving with sharks? Do you guys want to swim with the stingrays at night? Like, we were going through all the different activities to do there, which are so much fun. And a lot of the kids are super excited about some of them. The other thought I thought is, what if we do like Cayman Islands or the Bahamas again? Because we are familiar with that. And see if we get that same feeling. Is it like something? My other thing too is I think it's been hard since our older kids have moved out at maintaining that closeness between all of them. Like, I feel like we've done really good at like they're over all the time or we're putting an effort, but it's like, Ariana and Alex or Hallie and like in all those dynamics. And I feel like a family vacation is so important to get like all of those dynamics back together and all of that. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Okay, put in the comments, or put in the comments if there's somewhere that we should go as a family that you think would be really fun to do.
While we're waiting for
As
people to submit, Jeanette says, "Much love to Hallie. I understand with her depression and anxiety."
oh, thank you so much.
And
Connie says, always, you'll always have a feeling that something is going to happen and you may not be able to relax and enjoy yourself. It's true. I, a lot of times on family vacation, though, like, if I'm noticed if I overthink things, then I'm not able to like really really enjoy it. I feel like the first vacation that I really really enjoyed was our Florida trip last year for the adoptions, and we all stayed in an Airbnb together, and it was just like the most relaxing like fun trip. I don't know. I had a really good time in Florida.
so the interesting thing for me is, and I'm sure you can contest or speak to this, is that whenever we're going on vacation, I always get anxiety before it, and I always get super stressed like before we leave. I don't know why. It's just something. I think when I was growing up, no, nothing against my mom, but I think that's how she was.
She's a high stressor. I've traveled with her.
Whenever we would go on vacation, she would get really stressed right beforehand. And so I don't know, maybe that's just part of this. I don't know.
I think, and someone asked this the other day on YouTube, but they were like, why is Crystal always the one like traveling with the kids or like planning it or like all of that? And I think that's partially why is Aaron's a high stressor, but if I'm like, hey, this is what we're going, this is what we're doing, he seems to be more relaxed and we'll just go with the flow. But
Absolutely.
I think if you have to like plan it and like think about all the little details, you get like overly stressed that like something is going to go wrong.
I remember getting that question a lot when you went to New York. And if I recall, I had actually something planned when that trip was supposed to happen. So it actually made sense for me to stay home with Aurora and also do the meeting or whatever that I had at the time. So it's like
Yeah.
sometimes it's just scheduling.
And I think it's our personality types. I think I'm more extroverted and you're more introverted. Like Aaron's happy staying home and watching a movie. Like he loves that. And I'm like, I want to go out and do this and try new things. And I'm more adventurous, just personality wise. So I think a lot of times when I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to go do this. And he's like, cool. Like I'll stay home with Aurora and the kids. And like, and he enjoys that. Like he loves that. And that's his special time with them. And then I get that special time with the kids. So it's just, I think, a difference in personality, but it works. Really quick, Faith Whalen said, go to Hawaii on your next trip, but trust your gut and do something different this year. So, not canceling the Hawaii trip, just pushing it out a year or pushing it out even a few more months. I feel like I love that. That's a really great idea, Faith. Thank you.
Kendra Bickerton says, "Hi, Aaron and Crystal. Hi from Nova Scotia, Canada. Would you ever consider taking the kids to Canada? Love your content, by the way." So I've always wanted to visit Canada.
I've always wanted to visit Canada.
I went
It
to
looks so beautiful there.
Alaska in the year 2000 for a family reunion. From what I've heard, Canada is very similar to Alaska, but I thought it was beautiful, and I would love to go to Canada. I've always wanted to.
Laura Parker says, what about an RV trip across states?
So
I don't know if we've all ever been.
the trouble with that is we would need like 3 RVs, because even your biggest RV sleeps maybe 10 people.
Yeah.
And that's like with the pop outs, and that's like the largest, longest RV.
I actually looked into renting one though, just to drive to California for spring break. The kids' spring break is coming up in March, and I'm like, what if we went in an RV and like went over and saw the beach and just hung out and that kind of thing? I do think that would be a lot of fun. But if everybody was going, yeah, we would need at least two, maybe even three.
Mary Hopcroft says, "Come to Smoky Mountains and East Tennessee. We have Dollywood, cabin rentals, a whole strip of fun activities. Oh, absolutely love you to the moon." Aw, thank you,
Oh,
Mary.
thank you. That's sweet. Diva says it doesn't matter where you go as long as you're all together. I love that. I do love that. And there was another one on here. I don't know if I saw it, but where someone said your anxiety around it might be because it's such a big trip. Like traveling over the ocean, and I know some of the kids are really nervous, and I know there's just a lot of details going into that. So I do think that might be a piece of it. But I do think there's something just with necessary, probably the dates or maybe the Airbnb that I chose. Something with it just doesn't feel right. And I hate that feeling. Like, I just hate feeling like that about it. But
It's really tough to be trying to plan a whole vacation around it and to have that feeling, you know?
yeah. And the Airbnb was so perfect. It had like little, um, it had like one main house and then it had like little houses connected to it. And then so everyone could have like their space, but then we could have a gathering place together, which I really liked that. Kira says to trust your intuition. Yes. Always. Always trust your intuition. I am big with that. I think sometimes even as humans we like second guessed like we second guess that all the time. I don't know. I know I do. I think we're the one of the only species that like questions our intuition and doesn't listen, you know?
Everybody says, every chat that I can see, um, yeah, they said trust your intuition. I,
Okay.
I don't think
So
we're going to cancel it. I think we're going to reschedule it. I actually really like that idea. I've always wanted to go to Hawaii. I don't want to completely cancel
I
it,
think we
but
look into different dates maybe.
we tried
So
different
we were
dates.
planning on going the end of June, but maybe we push it into like July. Or maybe we try a different island. We were gonna go to the big island, to Kona Island,
That
and or
that was the
Kona
other hard
area.
thing. It sounds like Hawaii is like a 6 or 7 different trip type vacation because everybody's like, "Oh, well, you got to go to this island for this reason. You got to go to this island for this reason." So it's like, well, how do you pick which island? Because this sounds fun here and this sounds fun here. I don't know. How do you make that? How do you make that
This
decision?
person says, Pam says, how about Iowa? We are very friendly. We've never been to Iowa. So the kids were so excited. We built that map wall the other day and they got to sit and put all the pins in. And then we were sitting down yesterday talking about, and they were like, oh my gosh, we've never been to this state. And look, this whole part of the United States we've never been to. And then, there's a lot of areas, but
I've driven through Iowa,
I think
but
there's
I haven't.
something
I don't
special.
think I've ever stopped for any length of time.
Yeah, and I think there's something special in each state and something unique and special about it. And then same with, all the different countries and all the different areas. So I love that.
So real quick, Arya Krish did a super chat of 10 Canadian. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Teresa Price. Niagara Falls, Canada side. There's a strip with lots of attractions, go karts. They would love it.
So Stacy says Michigan is great in the summer. So really quick, I surprised my mom and Aunt Bonnie and wanted to take them to Michigan to see their biological brother that they haven't seen. They've only ever seen one time in their entire lives. Long story short, basically, they had a brother who got lost in the foster care system and were able to find him recently. And so they're worried because he is older that they're not going to be able to really spend time with him. Um, just with getting older. And so with that, I really want to take him. And then we were supposed to go in like January, but weather has been crazy and everyone's like, don't come to Michigan. And he was even like, the brother was like, do not come in January. Like, that's crazy. He thinks that we should come more in like, what did he say? Closer to like May, June, the weather gets really pretty there. So we will be coming to Michigan. We won't probably have everybody all together as a family. It'll probably just be a few of us. But I'm really excited to go. And then the other piece, can we talk about Jamie?
I was wondering if we should bring that up.
I know. I think it's fine
I think
because
it's
Melinda's
okay.
talked about it on her channel. So, Jamie has a biological dad that lives in Manistee, Michigan, and he really wants to move to Arizona to be closer to Jamie and Melinda, Scarlett and Aurora, all of that. And so, we're excited. And so, the other day, probably just like 3 or 4 days ago, Jamie came to us and her dad would like our help moving. And so Erin, loving to drive, will probably be the U-Haul driver. So we will be going to Michigan to move
I'm
her
totally up
biological
for it.
dad down here. Right as of right now, her dad is going to get his own apartment, but I don't know if Jamie is going to want to move in. Like, if she's happy where she's at, and we don't obviously want to move Jamie. But we also give Jamie the choice in what she wants to do. And so I'm curious how all of that's going to play out. As of right now, we have no idea. But we're pretty sure, I would say, like, 90% sure he's going to move here in the summertime or beginning of summer. So
Let's maybe
I
not
think,
wait till summer. I just
why?
because it's hot in Arizona.
Yeah, but
I'm just
Michigan
thinking of when
wise,
we get here. Yeah, but I don't know. I think there's like a good April, May, early May type scenario that is
that's
good for
true.
both places.
Yeah. If you live in Arizona, like especially in the valley, moving in the summer is like the worst idea. We moved in May, the end of May in 2021, and
If I recall, it was during a heat spell too.
it
It
was
was hot.
terrible. It
It
was
was terrible.
terrible. By the end of it, we were all cranky and it was just not it. It was not it. Uh Michael used to live in Michigan. Michigan's really pretty. I've only been there the one time when we picked up Jamie, but or no,
Felicia
twice because we went and saw her dad.
Felicia Scarberry says, I think it's WV. I'm assuming West Virginia is a beautiful place as well. Have y'all ever been to West Virginia?
We've never been to West Virginia.
Never been to West
None of
Virginia.
us. We really enjoyed Atlanta, Georgia. Ariana still talks about that trip, and she really, really enjoyed it there. So I don't know. And I loved seeing all of the culture and history, and all of that was amazing. So definitely, Cindy said, I agree with Aaron. Cooler is much better. I agree. It's just finding good weather in Michigan, but also good weather here. But I agree with you, like April, Mayish is that like
I definitely
sweet
don't want to
spot.
drive a U-Haul full of somebody else's stuff in the snow.
In a snowstorm?
Like that's
No, let's not do that.
yeah, I don't want to
Not
risk
a good
that.
idea. Ruth, thank you for the stars. She put pray over your trip and choose from your heart. I love that, Ruth. I do. I love that. And I'm going to do that definitely.
So my question is, how do we break it to the kids that we might
Well, I've already talked
reschedule
to
it?
some of them about it, especially like the older teens and all of that. But I was also including them in on it. Like I was like, "What do you guys think? I'm getting this feeling. Like, what should we do?" And like a couple of the kids were like, "Well, let's. What if we did Cayman Islands, or what if we did, you know?" And we were kind of talking about it a little bit. But I know the younger kids, we haven't really talked about it very much, but we should. We'll bring it up to them. We'll ask. We'll make a family decision all together. But I am going to try different dates and see if maybe I feel better about that or different place to stay.
We've had that question a lot. Would we ever film a family meeting?
So we do family meetings every Sunday, like religiously, like really, you know what I mean? And
Because
I
we try to plan out our week.
Yeah, we plan out our week. I guess I don't know how interesting it would be. But I mean, we could film it. There'd be nothing wrong with filming it. Basically, we just go over our schedules for the week. If the kids have appointments or sporting games or this or that going on, we go through all of that. And then we will do if like something happened through the week or we do like a positive moment if there's something we notice that one of the kids did or we're proud of them and like we kind of do that all in there. Thank you, Stephanie, for the stars. She put love y'all.
Desiree says, "Come to Maine. We have oceans and mountains."
Ooh, Maine would be a fun one too. We've never been to Maine.
I I enjoy lobster. I know Maine is known for its lobster, so yeah, I can get down with that.
That would be really good. All of the kids I think will eat
That'd be a
lobster
really
too.
long flight though,
Actually, I don't think that bad.
from here all the way to Maine.
Yeah. I
Be
don't
like
know.
six
I don't know how
hours.
long that flight is. Uh Tiara Douglas. Hi there, awesome to see you all live. And she also sent stars, so thank you for that. And I know someone, I think it was Karen, asked, are we going to be doing lives the same time every week? So we're going to try to. It is a little difficult sometimes if our schedules conflict with like something the kids have going on or an appointment or that kind of thing, but we will try to go live. We'll try to do it at the same time every week, but it is a little difficult sometimes. Yeah. And today we were trying to get everything set up and it took us longer than
Max
we
Pettit
wanted to.
says Alaska would be so much fun.
Alaska would be amazing.
I want to go back to Alaska. I really, really had an amazing trip when I went last time. Um, yeah, it was just so cool.
Jamie Roti said Maine is beautiful, Aaron. They have the best lobster rolls.
Excellent.
That would be amazing. Rachel Miller says, "How do you stay motivated?" That's a good question. And I think that it's
I think it varies based on what you're trying to stay motivated about.
right. Okay, clarify your question on motivated in which way? Because motivated in working out and staying healthy lately, Aaron and I both have been not
We are
doing the
struggling.
best. We are really, really struggling with that. And we're trying to come up. We do really good with routines. And
She does better with routines than I do.
Margaret and Renee, thank you for the stars. So I do really well when I set up routines. And I noticed all of the kids do really well with routines. So if I'm like, hey, 7 a.m., we're working out in the gym, I notice we can stay on that schedule. But the second I'm like, oh, I have this going on, or I just want to sleep a little longer, or I have, and I start making up excuses in my mind, pretty soon that routine's like, which is where we're failing right now. But motivated in other areas, as far as like business or like different things that we're doing, it's all about routines for me and staying on a schedule. So,
Speaking of routines, I've seen a lot of the question asking, or people have been asking, what's the update with our real estate school?
oh my gosh. So, real quick, real estate school, you have to do 90 hours of pre-licensing, classes. And Aaron and I original goal was to do it together. And we did for a month. Like, and it is actually 90 hours. So when I say that, like, it'll come up on the screen and it'll have different reading things, and it'll won't let you go to the next screen for like 1 minute, and then it'll have a 5 minute video, and then it won't even let you click to the next. So it truly is 90 hours and you can't skip ahead. And I notice myself getting really bored sometimes because I know a lot of it because I did real estate for so long. And so I'm like, I have to sit here for 90 hours, and then the kids will come in, and then I get distracted really
That was the
easily.
tough thing for me. So a lot of this is like brand new, fresh. I've never heard it before, and so for me, I'm like trying to soak it all in like a sponge. And she's all clicking through over here because she's like, "Ugh, why am I waiting for the screen?" So it
So we
hasn't
tried to do it together, and it was a
it
struggle.
hasn't worked out us doing it together. So now we're doing it
Yeah.
separately, and
Yeah.
she's gotten a lot farther than I have. But I think it's just because you know the content before, you know.
Yeah. And I think that I do better in the mornings. Like, I'm a morning person. I wake up early and I feel like I can do real estate without the kids interrupting or that kind of thing because they're sleeping, and I can focus better. And Aaron does better at nights. Like, after the kids are asleep, like, he's a night owl and he, stays up later. And so I feel like, yeah. So it's going good. We're not finished with the classes yet, though. We're like 1/4 the way done.
I'm
We're
not
getting
that
there.
far. I wish I
Oh,
was.
he's not that far.
Kristen says one day you should come to Europe. We have so many pretty countries. Much bigger trip than Hawaii, though, and probably very expensive for a big family.
I would love that though. That would be amazing.
And Callie Walsh says, I think the best thing a mom can do is trust her intuition. Tweak the dates or the location. If that doesn't help, go somewhere else and go to do Hawaii next year.
I agree. 100%. I think that's what we'll end up doing. Uh, this person said my favorite, or Sandy Brown said, my favorite place you guys went was when you went to the Bahamas with Max, Hannah, and Joe. You guys had so much fun, especially swimming with the pigs. That was one of my favorite vacations. Like, it's up there on the top of my list because the pigs were so cute to swim with. That was so much fun. But it was just, I don't know, the vibe of it there was amazing. And we didn't get to stay very long, so I'd love to go back and explore a little bit more.
I really enjoyed that trip. That was an awesome trip. And that speedboat that we went on to get out to the pigs, it was like a really long trip, but it was not what I'd never been on a speedboat like that. Joe, I see Joe smiling from over
He's
here.
smiling from over there. Really quick, I just want to give a shout out to Jill. Hi, Jill. She is on Facebook right now, but Jillian, she's from yesterday's video when I talked about, or we went into a little more detail on some of the stuff. But she is a mom of 6 with 1 bio, and I think you're amazing, Jill. I would love to meet you. She lives in Maine, so I think that would be so amazing. And yeah,
Kaylee Gould says in PA, so I think that's Pennsylvania, right? We have a huge Amish buffet and a wolf sanctuary, plus Lake Erie, Kinswa Bridge, Hershey Park, and Gettysburg. It's a really pretty state. I've never been to Pennsylvania, I don't think.
My mom was born in Pennsylvania and she hasn't been back to visit. So I would love to do a little trip, with her there. Thank you, Kira, for the stars. Okay, a few more questions and then we're actually going to go start filming our video today. We have a big surprise.
I don't think we should
Actually,
say anything about it, though.
I don't think the kids are on here. They're in
I
school.
could see the kids being at school playing on their phone when they shouldn't be. Our luck, they'd be at lunch right now or something like that, and they're like, "Oh, mom and dad are live. What should we watch?"
I doubt it. I doubt it.
Okay,
We're
I mean,
surprising our younger kids, not our teenagers. But so growing up, Aaron and I loved bike riding. And even early in our marriage, we would bike ride. Like, I just think it's so much fun. And I had the little cart that you put behind your bike that you put your little kids in, and then you can ride around. Like, the kids, Hallie and Max were obsessed with that little thing. I don't know. But I feel like nowadays, so many kids, like, especially ours, are like on video games, or they're just kind of, I mean, in the summer, they live in the swimming pool, so they are active and stuff like that. But I just want to get or have something that they can do outside of that. So that being said, we're surprising them with bikes today. Hopefully they're not listening. Hopefully I didn't
um,
just ruin our today's video.
it reminds me of when we were in St. John's. When we were in St. John's, we made a huge effort to get everybody bikes, and we were trying to ride as a family. The hard part about St. John's was there was a lot of like sharp, like I don't know, there wasn't cactus in St. John's, but it was like sharp grasses and stuff. But
There's
as
a
it,
lot of like sticker things
yeah, so
on the
like
ground.
anywhere you rode in town, we were getting flat tires literally left and right. I was literally replacing a tire, what, every day, every other day when we were trying to ride.
Yeah.
And it was so frustrating. But I would love to get back into bikes. I think that we could totally, ride as a family. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Amy, really quick, is asking about Hannah and like all of her stomach issues and that kind of thing. So, when she found out she's gluten and lactose intolerance, it's really hard. She is struggling with it. And it really helped seeing the naturopathic doctor and explaining how gut health works and how of all of that. And I don't know, I feel like that really helped her. And then to start having more things that we can do, because I think it was hard to go through testing and go through all the stuff that she did. And then they're like, well, we can't really figure it out. We're just going to call it IBS. And I just felt like it wasn't a, hey, here's what you have, here's what can make it better. It wasn't like that. It was just like, well, you have IBS, like you're just going to kind of have to deal with it. Here's medication, but you shouldn't be on it. It's not good for you. Like it just felt, it just felt like off. And so to be able to go to a doctor and they're like, okay, no, here are the steps we're going to take. We're going to do further testing on food intolerances. We're going to do this. We're going to try this. That'll help, basically she's on this powder and the stuff that helps your gut feel better and like heal from the bad bacteria and like that kind of thing. And so I feel like there's steps being made, and then she's like, we're going to check in monthly, and if that's not working, we're going to try this. And I felt like it was a doctor that like is beside you instead of like, here's what you have, figure it out on your own. I don't know if that all made sense, but yeah, it is a struggle, but she's doing good.
Monica Bain says a probiotic. Sounds like a probiotic to me.
Yes, she is doing a probiotic. The naturopathic had her, figure that or do a thing with that too. But
Meredith M asks, "How is Jamie's day program going? Is she still attending?" And yes, she is. She goes 3 days a week.
for Jamie, yeah,
Yeah.
Jamie does. Beverly said, my daughter's starting to have gut issues as well. Who did you see first? So we started off with her primary care physician, and they're the ones that did like an allergy test and ordered all that kind of stuff. And then from there, they sent us to an
Gastroenterologist.
gastro, yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how we got it rolling. Thank you, Char, for the stars. Char Fran. This
Bali
person
or
can't have
Phuket
Fugu.
from Kameshni
Bali would be
Southerner.
amazing. I would love that.
Does Joe have his passport yet so you can go to Fiji?
He does have his passport. Yes.
Did they?
Oh, and they, yeah, so we will have to try. Finally, we can plan the Fiji trip. So, yes, that should be happening. We don't know when. We got to figure out, yeah, our schedules and all that. So, you could do a mini Hawaii trip first.
Chloe
That's an
Porter
interesting
asks,
idea.
"How is Joe related to you?" So Joe and I are best friends since high school.
Yes. Someone asked how Melinda is doing. Haven't seen her in your videos lately. Melinda's doing really good. So she's had a friend staying with her, that her friend's children are going through a lot. And so she's been really busy helping her out. And Melinda's amazing. You know, she is willing to step up and help anybody at any time. And she just has the best heart. And so for her to step up and help the single mom, and I don't know. It just warms my heart. She's amazing. So she's doing really good. We talk all the time. She was actually over here on Sunday. She was having some car issues, but she got those resolved. So she's good. But yeah, I think sometimes too, because every kid isn't in every video, it's almost like we didn't see them in a while. Like it's not like that at all. Like we see our kids all the time on a normal basis and we don't always film it. And it's not always like, oh my gosh, they're here. We're gonna film, like we have those, I don't know, times off camera all the time. So yeah. Okay, let me go to the bottom. We'll do a couple more questions and then we're gonna go ahead and end this. Was Joe your best man?
Joe was not my best man. Joe was actually on his mission in Fiji when we got married,
Yeah.
and he had like a month left. He tried to get a early leave, but they didn't grant it, so he did not make our wedding. But my other buddy Frank, love you Frank.
Yes.
He was my best man.
Yeah. I actually didn't meet Joe until, yeah, we were married for a couple months before
Yeah.
I even met Joe. Yeah. Thank you, Ruth, for the stars. She said, Joe, I think you're amazing. You're so loving and kind. You're one of the good ones. Thank you, Ruth. He says thank you and a thumbs up in the background. He's sitting in the back looking at comments, so he is seeing all of your comments.
So, I just had one. America Guys says, "How do you keep on top of spending time with each kid?
How do we keep track of it? Was that the question?
How do you keep on top of?"
Keep on top of it. So I definitely feel like it's a daily not process, but a daily check-in, if that's, as you will. But um yeah, we just make sure that on a daily basis that we are having conversations with each kid, that we are spending time with them, whether it is just little amounts of time of spending time on homework or helping with this, or one of the kids will be like, hey, will you play this video game with me for a minute, Aaron? Like, or dad, not Aaron, I call him Aaron, kids call him dad. But so it's just all those little things, but then also making those bigger moments too. A lot of our kids' love language is quality time. So we make sure that we get that quality time in whatever way that looks like. And so,
I think that's the most amazing part about. Okay, so as a parent, try to find out what your child is into, right? So Lucas and Jake right now, they're really into sports. They're really into, being fit and whatnot, and they're in this basketball league. So it really helps because when they have a game or they have a practice, Crystal and I can go to that, and it's really us supporting them and they see that. And so each of our kids has something that they're into that we are able to be a part of, and through that I think it builds that comfort, and so it gives you that opportunity that if a kid's struggling or needs more attention, we see it through that, and it allows us to know, hey, this kid's saying this or this when we're hanging out. We need to hang out with them more. We need to have a special one-on-one date with them. Like Bella, we went to a movie with Bella the other night because we were like, Bella, she seems like she wants to hang out a little bit more, and so we were like, okay. So we went and saw that movie Missing.
Missing. It was so good.
That was such a good movie.
I jumped so hard though, and I grabbed Bella's arm like, ah! She screamed too, and it was such a good movie though, and it was so good to spend time with just her. And that was kind of my other thing too, though, is those times we're getting a lot of one-on-one time with each kid, but we're not vlogging all those moments. Like we only vlog here and there on those special times, but yes, it's definitely happening. Oh, one of the things, oh, real quick, Rachel asked, when you are overwhelmed, how do you cope with that? We lean on each other. I don't know. I feel like for me, I go on walks or I vent to somebody that I love and trust. A lot of times it's Shelly or Aaron that I'll vent to if I'm feeling overwhelmed about something. And then also just taking some time to dissect what I'm feeling overwhelmed about and kind of break it down, because I feel like when I break something down, it doesn't seem as overwhelming as when I look at something as like a whole. And so, yeah.
So for me, I and I shouldn't, because video games has been a problem for me in the past, but I do turn to video games sometimes when I'm feeling stressed or overwhelmed. Video games allow me to step out of my life and then put me into a mentality where I'm trying to accomplish something specific in that game. And so I don't know, it allows me to, stop, set this stuff aside and focus more on this. And then when I stop playing, then I can there's this process of, okay, this is what was stressing me. I need to reorganize so I can attack it differently so that it's not causing me stress, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I love that. One last thing. So the other day, well, not the other day, I guess it was a couple weeks ago, Aaron went on a daddy daughter date with Aurora. And it was such a sweet day and a sweet moments and like all this stuff in it. And halfway through it, I had left to go to Bella that had like a parent, meeting for softball. And when I was walking to the car with Bella, she was like, she's like, it's really neat to watch, Dad and Aurora getting ready for this dance and all of this together. And she's like, I never really got that as a child. I never really got that dad figure to take me on this little daddy daughter date thing. And a couple of the other kids made the same, very similar comments, or came and sat next to Aaron. And this, like, it was, I don't know, an eye opening moment. And I feel like in our house, because I feel like we always think, like, okay, we're spending one time, we're doing all of this, but that one special day with your dad is priceless. And I wish I could have that with my dad, but unfortunately he's no longer here. And so I feel like, and so Aaron has been trying extra hard, doing different things and going on little dates with them. But he just wants each one of our kids, and even all the boys too. Like, it's not just one or the other, but having those really special moments where they're just singled out and it's just them is really important. So that is something that we're doing in the background, that we're doing little daddy daughter dates and mommy son dates and all that fun stuff.
I do think that's something that we focused on in the past. Like Crystal and I would do, I guess you could call it 2-on-1 time, because it's Crystal and I with the kid, So, we're putting more effort into doing individual time. I'll stay home with Aurora so Crystal can take this kid out shopping, or, go to, you went to a movie or something. You went bowling? You went bowling recently with one of the kids, and I wasn't there. But yeah, we're focusing more on, doing the one-on-one time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, I was going to see if there was one last one. Thank you, Char, again for the stars. Miss my one-on-one time with my son. Aw. I feel like time flies by and it goes so fast. And I think a lot of, not that I assumed this, but as the kids like turn 18 or they're into their adulthoods, they start, having or creating their own families and that kind of thing. You're kind of like, okay, you still always want to be close to them and still always want to put in that effort to spend that time with them. And it's just such a different dynamic that's been in our house recently. And so we're just trying to figure all of that out still. But yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching us and joining us on this live. It was so fun to hang out with all of you and like see your comments live and be able to interact more. And I don't know, I love it.
Please let us know if you want us to continue doing this. Like we said, we want to start doing this hopefully every Friday. Yeah, because we love hanging out with you guys and spending part of our
Yeah.
day with you.
And we can have different kids and different things depending on what we're doing. But yeah. All
Absolutely.
right. Thank you guys. And we will see you guys next time.
Love
Bye.
you guys.